Okay, it's recording. Um, my channel has a tendency to have videos about me complaining about my son. I haven't seen him in a while, and there's a reason for that. And it hurts. And the reason I put these videos up is hoping that he will see them and reflect on them, and maybe take responsibility for his behavior. Sorry, I'm driving. One of the things that I have not talked about, because it hurt me the deepest, is my son. He didn't communicate as well as quickly as some other kids. I was really looking forward to my son reaching to a point in his life where I could have an intellectual conversation with him, because he would tend to babble a lot. He would be, incomplete sentences, veering from one conversation to another. And apparently my son is very intimidated by male figures. I often got the impression that since his mother basically just disappeared, dropped off the face of the earth, hadn't had any contact with him for about, I don't know, was it like 18 years? I mean, a long period of time. And for some people, for some reason, they tend to idolize the people that they know little about, and the people that they know more about, they tend to take for granted, and I had often felt like that. My son, him and I would try to keep in contact weekly or bi-weekly. I would attend his soccer games. I mean, I tried to catch as many of them as I could. I've always had a lot going on. Life has not been easy for me. And when he was able to come out and visit me, I believe he was 21 at the time, or almost 21. I was really looking forward to being able to have real conversations with him, look him in the eye and try to engage him and get to know my son better. And every time we try to engage him in any kind of activity, it's like, oh, I can't be outside because of the bugs. Or, he wanted to do something, he would not humor us. He actually gave watching one of our programs a try. We were watching The Big Bang Theory, and he gave it a try and he actually liked it. I was thinking, maybe he could learn something from this experience, try to, get out of his own bubble. And but for the most part, anytime we try to engage him, like, hey, let's look at the photo albums or something, anything to spend time with him. And we always regretted it. It was a very tough week. I wanted to give him the opportunity, hey, if there's anything you want to know, I felt all those things that I've kept quiet about, I'm willing to talk about them because you're a man now. And, if you want to know what happened between, me and your mother, etc., etc. Now, Stevie's adopted mother, she's great. I have nothing negative to say about her. I might have wished that she was a little bit more strict or conservative. That's not deep criticism, just, a personal preference. But overall, I couldn't give anyone better praise for raising my son, since my son's biological mother basically screwed her and I of the opportunity to raise our own child with untrue allegations. And, naturally anyone wants to clear their names when they've been accused of something or things that they did not do. And when I was giving my son that opportunity, I wasn't saying, I don't care if you want to hear me or not. I wasn't going to say, nor did I say things that he refused to hear. He basically said, I know what happened. And basically, he had allegations, and he believed them, and he didn't want to hear anything I had to say. I was not given the opportunity to defend myself. It was basically like being told, you're a piece of shit. That's all that needs to be said. And I was deeply offended. Here I was, trying to treat him like a man and saying, hey, this is what we can talk about if you want to talk about it, because I think you're old enough now. Oh, holy shit, did I regret saying anything, even though I didn't say anything. I was just giving him the option. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's the way it is. You came all the way out here to see me. I paid for your plane, and you think I'm a piece of shit. And you're going to disrespect me in my own house? You're going to do whatever you want? Fuck. You should have just stayed home. And, it deeply hurt my feelings, and I haven't been in touch with him it's been a few years. Sherry had cancer and beat cancer within the period of time that we haven't talked to him. I've switched jobs. Had a phenomenal amount of stuff happen since then. And, it sucks that it's like, oh shit, some of my other relatives are like that, the same way. It's like, the period of time we haven't talked, I could have been, passed on and dead, and you wouldn't even know. It's like, this is what family values amount to in this day and age. And it doesn't matter what political party you are, because, people will be like, oh, you're a Democrat or a liberal or an independent. We don't want to talk to you. And it's like, these are the same people that have said to me when I was a child, the family, that's the most important thing, period. And they don't actually believe it. And it's all bullshit. You gotta be family first. Just because, you're in the same gene pool doesn't mean stuff if you don't abide by, those established rules. And it's kind of like anyone can have a child, but they could basically, write you off because, mom's more cool than you are, because, she's not going to discipline me. I'm going to run off at the mouth, say whatever I want, and she ain't going to say shit about it because that says stuff about her upbringing. I don't know. It deeply saddens me, and I usually don't think about it, and I usually don't talk about it, but even though, it still really bothers me. I can't imagine doing or saying that to, one of my parents, but now as an adult, I can tell them what's on my mind, but I ain't going to be insulting about it. It's like, here, we can establish a dialogue and talk about it and work through it, these things that bug me. I'm not going to basically, just drop the fucking mic